Hey everybody. So, this painting is going to come with a story, and this story inspired this painting that I'm about to do. But before I get into the story that pisses me off, let me tell you a little bit about what I'm going to do. This is a 24 by 24 inch canvas, and this is going to be a large bloom done in an unconventional way. Okay, so let me start off by layering my base paint. All right, so moving on to the story, okay, and I'm going to tell you why this painting and the colors I chose ties into this story. This was, let's see, I was in second grade and I was 8 years old, okay, and I had this friend who lived in the building next to me. His name was Ryan. Friend, or so I thought. And, just like kids, we'd go outside, we'd play, ride our bikes, kick a soccer ball around. So me and my family, we lived on the second floor. And what happened, he wanted one day he said, you know what, I'm going to jump off the second floor. And I'm like, Ryan, yeah, I really, really don't think that you should be doing that. He's like, why not? You should do it. It's going to be fun. And yeah, I strongly advised him. I'm like, don't do that. You're going to get hurt. It's higher than it looks, blah, blah, blah. And of course, I don't remember everything that was said, but I just know I strongly encouraged him not to do that. Sure enough, he does it, goes off the second floor and jumps right off and lands into a bush. And this bush had flowers that were these colors that I'm using right now. Anyways, moving on. Oh, I haven't even begun to get started with this story. He starts crying, starts limping home, and I'm like, oh my God, are you okay? I go back to my house. I tell my mom, and he'd made it to the next building over where he lives. And I assumed that I hadn't heard from him later in the day. I assumed that he was okay. So next day, I go to school. He wasn't there. After school, I go and I knock on his door. And his mom answers. And she says, she had this angry look on her face. And I'm like, what's going on? And she says, did you push my son off the second floor? And I'm like, oh my God, no. And I was swearing up and down. And she's like, I don't believe you. I'm like, I swear on my life, I didn't push Ryan off the second floor. I'm like, why would I do that? I said, he voluntarily jumped off. I was so upset. And I am, just this little kid, 8 years old. Anyways, of course, I go home. I tell my mom. And my mom, knows me well enough to know that I would never in a million years do something like that. So she calls his mom and says, I'm just calling to tell you, Manoli did not push your son off, the second floor. And I was telling my mom, I'm like, yeah, I was like, Mom, he said he was going to do it. And I don't know why he would blame this on me. Anyways, the rest of the day goes on. I was really upset. I'm like, how can he do that? Next morning, show up to catch the school bus. Let me just tilt this just a little bit. And Ryan was waiting right there. So I said, Ryan, why did you lie to your mom? Why did you tell your mom that I pushed you off the second floor? And he goes, well, if I told her that I, did it myself, she would have gotten really angry with me. So I just told her that you did it. I'm like, that's a lie. I got so upset, and we're going on the school bus. Anyways, go to class, and he was in another second grade class, and he had his teacher, I had mine. At recess, I go outside and his whole class comes up to me and starts a few at a time, 4 or 5 students at a time. They're like, I can't believe you pushed him off. And he went and told the whole damn class that, that I pushed him off the second floor. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? I'm like, this is a real mess. Oh, it gets better. His teacher, she actually turned to me and said, Manoli, leave my kids alone. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. And I was going around. I was like, I did not push him off. I would never, ever do such a thing. And I go home, I tell my mom, and that's about all I remember. But going back to what inspired this painting, which really pisses me off, as it would anybody, was the flowers that he fell into. It was a bush with these colors. And I thought of that and I thought, what a great inspiration for this painting. Ryan, if you ever watch this video, I'm sure you remember this story. Just know I forgive you. That was pretty traumatic for a little kid my age. Unbelievable. Okay, and I got this glitter paint as well. I'm just going to kind of drizzle a little bit of this all around. That's going to dry clear. The colors underneath it are going to show up once this dries. It'll be like a glittery glaze right over that. All right. This is my cell activator, which I actually have available on my website. Okay, and I have it mixed right here just for this. Okay, so I'm going to pour it right in the center. Wow, I got some really, really cool lacing effects in this one. Very nice. All right, let's do it. So how I got my inspiration for this painting was Definitely an odd one. And it's funny how some memories from your childhood will stick with you for the rest of your life. And what I've learned from this is that Ryan was a little shit. But thanks to Ryan, I created a pretty cool painting. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Any questions, comments, feedback? Please don't hesitate to leave it in the comments section. Until next time, bye.